Good evening, everybody. If you have been here waiting for Ori and the Blind Forest, then wait no longer. We are here for you. Thank you for being patient. If you were here watching Super Metroid, then thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll stick around to watch Ori and the Blind Forest, another pretty awesome Metroidvania. Tonight, we're going to be bringing you two matches, and we're going to start right now with CheeseLover versus Fent. My name is Vol'jin, and I'm here with Sonic Buster. Sonic, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well this evening.
Are you all there? Are you ready to go?
I am ready to go.
Nice. Well, me too. And I think we're going to have a pretty fun matchup today. We've got, of course, Cheese going against Fant. One of the first few matches in this group. There have only been a couple played. But here you've got the vital stats on both runners. Cheese coming back off a pretty lengthy hiatus from the game. I think basically was off since last tournament until now, and has managed to get back into the saddle pretty quickly, get a 31.09 PB. Fant, for his part, is a pretty experienced runner as well, but also kind of had a lengthy hiatus and has been working on his PB. Actually, we have out-of-date data there. He's actually got a 36 and change, but I think it might not be reflected on the leaderboard yet. But in any case, Sonic, what are you hoping to see tonight between these two runners?
My biggest thing with all of these races is just to see them put on a good run and be really competitive with each other. I like it, but I don't think that's what we're expecting here tonight. I think we're expecting Cheese to be out a little ahead, but you never know what can happen in a race. Anything can happen.
Yeah, that is quite true. We're certainly wondering whether or not Fant is going to be able to, keep pace with Cheese, who's going to have a very good late game most likely. But both of these runners, they're going for basically, kind of all the tricks, all the stuff. Fant will be taking the late game health cells, and Cheese will actually be taking one earlier on, which is an interesting difference. He's actually he was saying, like, I want to be the first runner with a 30 who takes that early health cell, and I'm like, well, okay. Good luck.
Is it so far-fetched to be able to achieve a 30 with that first health cell?
Oh, well, for sure the first one it's only about 3.5 seconds as we are getting underway here, and we'll be making our way to the Spirit Flame. It's only about 3 seconds if you take that cell compared to a different one later on, and it's only about 8 if you take it in addition to the ones later on. So neither Cheese nor Fant losing a lot of time from that, but it's just one of those weird things. Everyone, by the time they get to that time range, seems to drop some of that stuff. And of course, we've seen from our current world record holder, Uncle Ronnie, you can take that cell and you can even still get world records. So hey, why not?
I guess that means the Cheese might not be the first then, eh?
Yeah. Well, we're getting to the Spirit Flame pickup at pretty much the same time. This part of the game, both of these runners are very experienced, and they'll be able to navigate that early section without really losing any time. And they're both going to pick up their Spirit Flame and attack some of these Frankies, and we'll see how that fight goes. Fant primarily playing on controller. He is a hybrid player, but controller will be his main input method. And she's going with keyboard, and you're seeing there he's using the slightly faster paced shot technique. Sonic, so far, pretty even action, but we're seeing a very slight lead for Cheese here as he's coming out.
A lot can change in the early race there.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of opportunities for that to happen. Hopefully, we won't see any major ones. Definitely not interested in seeing any deaths from either runner. But they're both doing well. They're counting their HP, of course. They're counting their XP. Fant taking a little bit of a snipe from that slime. That was pretty impressive.
All right.
Quick damage boost through there. Yeah, go ahead, Sonic.
No, you're fine. Again, they don't have a lot of options this early in the game, but both of them moving through taking out some things with Spirit Flame now that we've got that, and they're gonna head up to Ghost Store here in a moment, right? Yeah. So they'll both be slipping right through this door up here, taking a quick intentional death, collecting some keys. And again, both of them very close together still. It looks like Cheese with a slight lead there.
Yep, and they're both working on the same section pretty much. They're pretty close together. Cheese will be, looks like, damage boosting that wall with those brambles. He's looking to set up his XP for a level up, either on the way in or out. Looks like he's taking on the way in to wall jump. Fen opts to stop at that bramble wall, again, manipulating his XP count. Cheese was able to be a little higher, but Fent will actually not even get the level up on the way in, so he must have been pretty low as he was making his way in there, but not too bad. He will be able to fall up to wall jump just about 8-ish seconds behind Cheese. All right. So we're making our way out of wall jump. The standard stuff, of course, you've seen a lot of platforming, both today and on previous days of races. Fent actually not even getting up the level up now. How did he end up that low on experience? I don't even... wow. But he is managing to get that level up finally and get out past those brambles. And unfortunately, just losing a couple extra seconds there. As it was, he was a little bit behind. You know, Fent would really be hoping to be able to keep pace early, especially because late game is where you see those huge differences between the more experienced runners with the better PBs and the less experienced ones. So hopefully Fent will be able to, you know, at least keep up on the way here, but so far his run has been clean other than that one level up problem. Sonic entering. You're just gonna say the same thing.
Absolutely. Entering Blackroot Burrows here. What kind of movements, what kind of techniques do you think we're gonna see here in Blackroot?
Well, one that we might see is this ninja vault over these platforms. Now, it looks like Cheese is not doing it, but when you get to the top, jumping up one of those little vertical log thingies. Oh, wow, that was quite a dodge from Cheese. You can actually do a wall jump with neutral directional input, and that will allow you to get up on the platform a little bit sooner with a little bit less height. Just spend a little bit less time floating over the platform, but neither runner actually opting to do that. They're just going with the standard run and jump and wall jump the normal way. We're also, of course, seeing the jump up to this XP orb, which is a favorite of most runners, I think, Sonic.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Grabbing that little extra XP orb allows you to make a save early in the game here that many runners weren't making until, I think, fairly recently. And that save can save you a ton of time.
Yeah, that's a really good point that we don't often emphasize about that particular XP. And the fact that you get that level up there, you can use that to be able to make another save earlier on where normally you wouldn't be able to. So CheeseLover has made it up to the top, and he is working his way into the dash room and navigating the platforms. Fent just a little bit behind. He missed a cycle on these platforms here, but fortunately managed not to take any deaths, so I think he'll certainly take that over, you know, take the cycle miss over a death. Oh, wow, almost steps off the platform, but he manages not to do so.
That's just an absolutely fantastic recovery there.
Yeah, that's for sure. He made sure that he wasn't going to lose those, you know, just another 8 seconds. And there, getting a good manipulation of the platform cycle in this room, so managing not to lose a platform cycle there as well. So pretty good performance by him in BRB so far. Cheese, meanwhile, doing his Darkness cutscene skip effectively. He does not opt for the new tech that was recently invented. Would have saved a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds, but it's a little bit dicey, so he's just gonna not bother with that.
sometimes it's not a bad idea to play it safe.
I would, in fact, even say in a race setting, a lot of the time, it's not a bad idea to play it safe. Especially if your opponent is not, like, literally, you know, Hydra or Wilson or Uncle Ronnie. you can afford to take it a little bit safe.
Absolutely. Cheese now moving towards Frankie Walk up here, and Fant just ever so slightly behind there, picking up Dash now.
She's had a good recovery on that Frankie jump. It almost wedged itself under the log, but he managed to dislodge it, basically, and he'll be able to continue with his Frankie Walk. He's going to get the kill right here. That looks like a bonus energy, which is very nice, so he'll even be able to make a save right there before the Death Gauntlet. And here we go. There's some terrifying sections, some slimes that want to kill you, some Frankies that want to kill you, some brambles that want to kill you, a Crusher that wants to kill you, a Crusher that wants to kill you from under it, but fortunately, Cheese does not have that happen. He gets the energy cell, so he's good now. Alright, and here we go with the early Grotto Cycle attempt from Cheese. Good movement up the wall and very clean. No problem for that. That's a pretty tough little bit of movement to do. It takes a lot of practice, so it's always impressive to see someone pull it off, even if it's a a higher level runner who you kind of expect to be able to do it. It's still impressive to see.
Yeah, that movement through the stompers there into Grotto is pretty difficult, actually. The overall Grotto cycle success rate I hear is about 17%, which isn't honestly too bad when you think about it, but it's not very great either.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for like a top time and your success rate at is 17%, you are very sad. You're going to be resetting a lot of runs to that 8-second time loss. But Cheese gets it. Fant unfortunately did not. But that's, again, it's only 8 seconds. Still, his run has been pretty clean. She's working on Grotto Skip right now. Is able to get it. That looked like a second try, confirmed by our stats folks. So he's able to make his way up. He's on pretty solid pace here. This is about rekindling this cutscene in about 10 minutes. He'll be able to collect the water vein in under 11. That is a very solid pace, and definitely within that, that 30 to 31 territory. There, yet another rekindle cutscene skip to get through that water vein cutscene a little bit quicker. And yeah, the 10:39 pickup, which is just very, very good pace. Certainly puts him on 31 pace right now. Basically on par with his PB, as Fant gets a very clean Grotto skip. That was first try for him, and he was first try in his previous race as well.
Oh, awesome.
His previous race had a fair bit of spaghetti in it. There was like a Frankie Walk death. There was some other stuff. It was a rough time for him. He was very, very disappointed with his performance in that race. He went back, put his nose to the grindstone, and you're seeing the results right now. He's playing very well. Oh, it's what we will often call a quick death for Cheese. Sometimes we say quick death and it doesn't actually mean quick, but fortunately, this one was actually quick, just a couple seconds.
Luckily, he placed that safety safe there, so don't have to go back too far.
Yeah, it's a pretty common safety save to place. I guess, it's kind of interesting to talk about safety save placement. Personally, I pretty much do not place any safety saves, but, I'm going for like a 29, so that's the level at which you have to kind of say, I need to drop some safety. Sonic, how do you approach the idea of placing safety saves, both in like your races and also in your like PB attempts?
Actually, in either case, well, honestly, in the race, I tend to play a lot more safely, placing them in areas where I know that I die fairly frequently. But in my PB attempts, I'd say I do the ones where I am absolutely going to die most of the time. And I try desperately to not lay them around areas that I feel confident with. So I think it depends on the player. But that safety save, like, again, you're seeing from Fant as well, right there with the level up is this stretch between that fountain and Ginso. Actually, there's a lot of risk in that area, so I see most people place that one.
Yeah, there's damaging spikes right before that level up, dealing 3 damage, so not a good time. But Fant was able to make it through cleanly. Cheese was able to make it through cleanly. Cheese, as of the door to Ginso, was 9 or 10 seconds behind his PB. Very close behind. Fant is coming into Ginso with a great time as well. This is a 13, 15, or 16? Yeah, so that is really solid, and I think this is actually only a few seconds behind his PB as well. And yeah, confirmed by the trucker, it's 5 seconds behind Fant's PB, so that's really impressive as well.
Seems like both of our runners are on a fantastic pace to be able to maybe improve their PB today, and that's just as exciting as seeing how close they are in this run.
Yeah, although for Fant, it's bad news if Cheese manages to stay that close to his PB, of course, because Cheese's PB is about, I believe, 5 minutes faster, so if they both continue on PB pace, it's a definite loss for Fant, but he could still get a PB, and that would certainly be a victory in itself.
It's a 5-cycle mini boss from Cheese. Very impressive.
Yeah, that fight is deceptively difficult to pull off.
Yeah, 5 cycles is very hard, but I believe that's the optimal movement there. So, very impressive.
Yeah, if you're like perfect on all your shots, you can get a 4-cycle, which we have seen exactly once in this tournament by Hydra in his ridiculous 28-53 run the other day, I believe, or 59 or whatever it was. In that run, he managed to pull off the 4-cycle, and it was incredible. That's not going to happen too many more times. It's very different.
Right. And Cheese is actually only 6 seconds behind his PB here at Bash. So definitely picking up that time as he goes on.
Yep, and he managed to get a very clean Keystone dupe there. He was taking intentional death by dropping into the spikes near that Keystone door. And it's actually very important that his save, you might wonder, like, why didn't he just save before taking that intentional death? Well, you actually need your save to be all the way back where he placed it in order to get the duplication effect. So that's why he set it up. Oh, wow. He accidentally dips into some spikes. But again, that was another quick death, and I do actually mean quick. Hydra correcting me in chat that it was a 28-57. Just wanted to make sure that the correct number of seconds were reflected in the commentary here. Did you get a chance to watch that run, Sonic?
No, I'm afraid that I didn't.
I would recommend going back and checking it out. It's definitely the race obviously was not super close because Hydra's opponent was not going to get a 28, but it was just an incredible run to watch. That time good enough to set Hydra in the first seed for the tournament, and just it's just absolutely crazy.
Definitely have to make a priority of that one then, for sure. All right, we're seeing.
Here we go. Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing CheeseLover head into swamp entry here, a little bit of line movement, couple of jumps, no big deal. It's not difficult or anything.
He's whipping out the double bashes here, and he manages to get the clean ones to redirect the shot up to break that ceiling and make his way into swamp. So very good job by Cheese. Previously in his last race, he was also able to get this trick first try. So continuing that consistency. Fant last time had a little bit of trouble with it, so after he gets through this mini boss, he's going to be hoping to improve on that performance from his previous race. He took 4 attempts last time. He'll be hoping for a first try, but we'll see how it goes. And now we've got Stomped for Cheese. Very curious how that PB pace is going, but he just picked up Stomp Tree in around like a 17-10 or 17-15 or something like that. So he's got to be on very good pace. Yes, he is. He is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Just keep collecting those seconds, Cheese.
This has been a very impressive run by both runners so far. Fant obviously behind by a bit, but he's also still on very good pace and has not made any major mistakes. But here we go with his swamp entry. Same
Stomp
thing.
entry.
He's going to be trying to get this frog into the right position. He does get it.
Got it.
Oh, Kuro cuts in skip for Cheese too, and he gets that. Fant just needs to redirect these shots appropriately. He gets the height. Oh, and he takes a death. Oh, he dashed into the frog by accident. That is an unfortunate time loss, but he gets another shot now. He's taking a damage boost on those spikes, which does set him up for potential death here, but hopefully this time he won't accidentally take that dash into the frog. He plays it a little bit safer. Oh, and Cheese on his side took a death where he fell into the instant kill infinite damage spikes and is now going to have to make his way to the 5th energy cell again. So unfortunate deaths on both sides, practically balancing out, but that's pretty unfortunate for both runners.
You know, I thought he rekindled there, but I guess I was mistaken.
Yeah, he'd placed a save up near that 5th health cell that he picked up, but apparently that did not, like, he didn't rekindle on the way out, or he didn't make it on the way out in the first place. So that's an unfortunate aspect of that as well. Just forced him to go back and pick up the health cell again. But he is recovering. He is able to get to the charge flame tree. He is doing the save over the spirit tree spirit well, and looks like we do have updates on both runners on their PB status now.
Fantastic. That looks like 14 seconds behind on Cheese, and Fant is, I mean, not behind, ahead. Good grief, Brain. All right, and Fant's ahead by about, no, that was 14 seconds behind. That was right. I did read that right. And about 20 seconds up for Fant.
Yeah, so both runners having the issues with the 2 deaths, so they were both unfortunately pushed behind their PBs as a result of that. But there's still some opportunity for both of them to improve. Fant going for his Kuro cutscene skip, and he gets it as well. Very nice job by him. So pretty much only the offsetting deaths really changing either their pace, but otherwise both runners are playing very well and pretty much on pace with their own PBs as we're coming up to fast stompless for Cheese. That shot looked good. He is returning back to pick up the ability cell. And he gets it very cleanly. The shot was perfectly aimed, and he was able to make the movement back to the cell and pick it up in time. Fant coming into the charge jump tree, and we'll be picking that up momentarily. A little bit of an annoyance from that. Swarm didn't quite get the bash angle he wanted.
Unfortunate.
Something was happening with that Frankie too, but he managed to make it in. And now we get my favorite part of the run, Sonic, the Sorrow Bash and Sorrow Pass area.
Oh man, Sorrow Bash is probably one of my biggest arch nemeses in this game, as well as many other runners. But once you are able to tell those birds exactly what to do and how to do it, get where you want to go, the movement up through this part of the game is just glorious.
That's right. You saw Cheese do it very beautifully there with no problems. And now he'll be rocket jumping higher into Sorrow, ups for a safety save. Maybe he got a little spooked after accidentally nearly scraping the spikes there. He takes some damage from these chips, but fortunately he's got enough cheese sauce to protect him from taking a death here. So even with the safety save, he did not have any deaths, and he's going to make it to the charge jump tree. Fant, meanwhile, is coming in to his Valley of the Wind, and we're going to be seeing fast stompless from him very shortly, as Cheese is about to set up his Terror Break. He'll use that save that he placed, the safety save basically that he placed back here in this Chip Cavern area, use it to set up the save anywhere. Fant is actually skipping fast stompless. Interesting. He must have practiced it and at some point decided that he didn't feel comfortable with it, so he's just not even trying.
The good news, though, is that that doesn't necessarily put you too far off. It does save a decent amount of time, but if you don't pull it off, man, can it cost you some time.
Yeah, that's right. The trick itself saving about 15 seconds if you pull it off first try and get everything, all the movement right. But if you completely skip it and just go straight up and stomp the rocks, that's all you lose is those 15 seconds. If you miss it once, you lose an additional 20, so you definitely don't want to have that happen. Cheese getting his Cutstone skip. Wow. Sunstone cutscene skip, as Fant is trying to teleport, which is not what he wants to do. And he's going to begin his Sorrow Bash momentarily. Little bit of damage taken there, but it looks like he's dropping a save, getting the energy, rekindling, and he's going to take an intentional death to restore the HP of the bird, so he'll be able to do his attempt. She's making fast work of Misty as Fant is trying this trick. He's got good bird position. That one's a little high. He makes it back in, and he recovers. Wow, that was incredible recovery from Fant. He hasn't saved yet. We're going to see if he opts to drop one here.
Please save, Cheese. My nerves, they can't take it.
All right, Fant going for the rocket jump off the slime, and not a very good one, but that's all right. Oh, but he's out of energy, and he's actually stomping back down to get some because he does not want to continue without it. He's probably going to want to make a save with that. Cheese navigating the spike question mark in Misty, and he is going to be getting into climb, still on very good time. Fant with the safety save finally, so he will be safe in the Chip Cavern here. Sonic, we're coming into some of the most impressive parts of the game. You know, what do you really look to? What parts of this last section beyond, you know, like the second half of Misty, do you really look to see something really cool? Oh, as she takes a death, going back to the climb tree, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. As far as movement, like, once we get out of Misty, I actually very much look forward to picking up Grenade, which I always looked at as being, you know, largely a useless skill. It's like, I'll never use that for anything. However, it allows for some of the most impressive movement in the game.
I would say that's very true. Personally, I have a soft spot for the second half of Misty itself, where, you know, there's a lot of charge dashes, and if you don't do the what's 20 seconds right, you don't have grenade jumps, so you're just kind of navigating with charge dashes and bashes and stomps and stuff, and it's pretty fun to watch and also fun to do. For me, who doesn't really do grenade jumps. Fant having a little bit of trouble on the Terror Break. That is, he got the Terror Break, but then just died on the laser after it. But he comes back to life, does his charge jump again to get that set up, and this time he'll wait a little bit for the lasers. Cheese made very, very fast work of the second half of Misty and is coming up to his mini-boss momentarily, and we'll see what kind of quick kill method he's going to go for here. And looks like he's going to go one at a time. He took out the first one with a charge jump and a charge flame, and the same for the second one. And there they go, and he does get his next one. All right. So, Cheese, after a brief respite, is making his way out of Misty. Fant, after his brief respite, is going to be exiting Sorrow Pass. And we got some updates on PBs. Now, the Fant update was slightly out of date, unfortunately. He was 1.2 seconds behind his PB at charge jump, but unfortunately that death to the laser will have offset that. So we'll see how he does in Misty, and hopefully he'll be able to recover that on his way to climb. Cheese, meanwhile, breaking back into Blackroot Burrows. He's gonna force this door open with a rekindle glitch right there. Take an intentional death. That's part of that glitch. And now we'll be heading down into the grenade tree area. Where, as you said, we're gonna get access to one of your favorite kinds of movement in the game.
I am very curious to see. I haven't seen one of Cheese's races since earlier in the group stage here, so I am really curious to see as to whether he uses that grenade jump movement or not.
Or as he stomps down to the tree and picks it up, we'll be seeing momentarily. We'll get that update on his PB momentarily, while Fant is making his way into the Atsu's Torch cutscene in Misty. So he's just about at the climb tree, and he is still on pretty solid pace. We did not see a grenade jump initially from Cheese coming out of grenade, but we might see some more in the future, possibly on the way to Horu. That sounds like we do have that update for Cheese, and we should be getting one for Fant as well. What have we got, Sonic?
Looks like Cheese is still 20 seconds behind PB, which isn't too far, to be honest. In a race, that's actually still very impressive. It looks like Fant is up by 16 seconds.
Yeah, behind again. So, again, just that, oh, ow, oh gosh, okay. Managing to recover from a rather awkward stomp into some spikes, but okay. Well, unfortunately, then he just floated into some, but good job by Fan to make a safety save up at the third keystone. So, a few deaths here, possibly kind of taking away his chances of PB, but you never know. There's certainly some room there. Cheese, meanwhile, traversing the Horu fields, and it's not out for any grenade jumps. It's just going to get to the door and head in. It is certainly very difficult once you're at this stage of the run. If you're behind by something like 20 seconds, it's certainly very difficult to recover that, especially if your PB is a 31. What's really impressive is that Cheese has only had that PB for a short amount of time, so already being able to nearly match it is pretty sick. But here's his door warp attempt. He does not get it first try, unfortunately. Oh, wow, what a snipe on Fant's side. I cannot believe that slime.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
That's, wow, I'm impressed. That slime's aim. Cheese got his door warp on just a couple attempts. He is a fair bit behind his PB right now, but hopefully we'll be able to with a 32 and change, or maybe a high 31. We'll see as he gets going. Fant is coming up to the boss here.
And it looks like with that, yeah, Cheese is not going to be able to reach PB with us today, yeah.
Well, I think he'll be able to take the consolation. Misses a charge dash. Oh, he floats down into the lava. Oh, alright, so he'll take his second go at this, making sure this time to not miss that charge dash. The timing on those, of course, pretty easy to mess up. Oh, he jumps into the lava pillar again. Oh boy. You definitely don't want to have these happen at the end of the run. It just feels real bad. It certainly won't allow Fan to catch up or anything, but it is just kind of, you know, it's a tilted elusive death, basically. Our friends in the truck calling out the angry mouse movements. Cheese doing the swim. He's got 6 health, so no real danger there for a runner with his experience, and he manages to make it out and is getting into position for his grenade jump, and it is first try, no problem. So GG to Cheese, getting the victory. And we're getting an update from Cheese in the chat that says, "What a stupid time loss." Which, Yeah, I mean, things happen. It's a bad feel, but fortunately, he's still able to get the victory tonight. And he wraps up with a 32-33, which is still a very, very good time for him to be able to take home. Sonic, I believe we've got an update from the truck. What have we got about Fant's PB status?
Looks like Fant is up by 30 seconds at Grenade, and his last split has a minute to save. And it looks like in his previous races, he's had first try door warp. So those odds of picking up some of that extra time are definitely good here.
We'll see. He also had a 7th try grenade jump apparently in that previous race. So that's a little bit scary, but with a minute to save on the final segment, he could definitely pull off a 35 here if he's able to have a strong finish. So that's what we're going to hope to see from him. As he's navigating Horu Fields, he's going to... Wow, that's a very interesting place to stomp that wall from, but he managed to stomp it, so there it goes. And he collects an energy to replace the one that he accidentally just charge dashed away. And here we go into Horu Fields, and he just needs to get to this door, and then we're going to see some door warp. He will still be behind as he gets to the door, but I'm not sure by how much. But we'll find out whether he's able to convert this into a PB in just a few minutes. Here we go, Fant. Alright, auto save, exit, reload, press up on the first frame, and not first try, alas. I was setting up for it, Sonic.
I was so hopeful, but let's see if we got this on second.
Oh boy. Well, we're up to 3 now, but come on. Oh gosh, door warp. Door warp is doing it to us, Sonic. No. He gets it. All right.
Awesome. All right. Still, I'm sure there's still some time saved there, so we still might be on PB pace. Let's see.
That's right. Fant's PB was in the 36 range, I wanted to say, and he is going to be doing this escape as well as he can. He's got 6 HP, so the poison water swim will be fine as long as he doesn't take it down elsewhere. He does not want to accidentally float into the lava pillar the way Cheese did. We're seeing some really nice movement at the start here, some stomp cancels, some very clean platforming. Manages to beat out that lava pillar cycle, does not miss his dash. Grabs these projectiles to make his way into this final section. And a reminder that Fant's previous race time being a 44:11, that's definitely going to get crushed, but the PB is what's at stake here. Oh no! Oh no! I cannot believe that just happened. He bonked on the bash with the fish. That is such crap. Oh.
Robbed. Jeez. Oh, my heart breaks for Fant.
That is very frustrating, and I'm sure he will be pretty upset that happened. But he's still got to finish it out, and he's going to be able to finish strong as long as that garbage does not occur a second time. So the swim going again. Yep, he aims the bash a little more shallow that time, so there's no danger of that happening. Charge jumping up the wall, grabbing a projectile. You see that he's got the mouse cursor moving. He is doing the grenade jump on KBM. There's the aim. There's the input. Doesn't work the first time. He's still got plenty of energy. Oh, good God. Wow, what was that input? I think he somehow managed to double jump. Grab the rock. Alright, one more time. Still not good. Oof. He's still got 2.5 energy left, so he's got plenty of attempts. And he gets it on this one. So GG to Fant as well. And looks like he'll finish up around a high 37. Not the PB that he was definitely looking for.
No, but definitely a good improvement for the race time. So that's still a good thing, but I'm sure he'd be feeling maybe not the best about that improvement.
Yeah, you and we both know how that can be. But we will have him holding right here. And he'll finish up in second place with a final time coming in just a few moments. Not gonna bother hopping with Naru, just gonna finish up, and it's a 37-28. All right, so just following up to see what we'll do schedule-wise here. We will grab CheeseLover for a quick interview. Cheese, welcome in, and congrats on the win. And obviously a little bit of late game stuff that happened, but just in general, how did you feel about your overall performance?
Yeah, I think my play was pretty clean. It was just a few costly deaths, especially in the two at the end, that really sunk my time down. But I still got a better race time than last time by over 2 minutes, so I guess I can't be sad about it too much.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, your performance at the beginning, you were tracking with your PB for a very significant amount of time. Did you, like, were you kind of getting hyped up possibly about like, oh man, I could PB again like right now? Or, you know, did that affect you at all? Or did that just not even enter your mind? Were you just in race mode?
I was a -10 at Stomp, so I was like, the 30 was on my mind for sure, but once I took it was like a 25-second death from the spider shot at the 5th energy, I knew it was basically over, so I kind of settled then, but apparently nerve settling makes me worse, so.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it was still really fun to watch. You know, Sonic. Were there any parts in particular of Cheese's run that yeah, that stuck out to you or anything?
It stuck out to me or anything. I kept sitting there going, you know, you can make up the time. You can do it. So I don't think you technically lost PB pace until closer to Sorrow, if I remember correctly, because you were off and then you got back on for a while. But I'd say the most exciting part was, if I'm honest, the beginning of the race for me. Just that movement from like double jump up through to sorry, I can't even think straight today. Up through to Ginso is, for me, something difficult. So it's always wonderful to watch somebody just make it look like nothing.
Thank you.
Well, I'll even turn that into a question about like how much, you know, how much have you practiced that early game specifically compared to, like, obviously the late game has some very obviously visually complex movement and stuff going on. How much have you focused on the early game versus the late game?
Probably quite a bit more. I mean, I've only completed, according to Live Split, like 11 runs since I got back because I probably reset way too much, but the perfectionist in me is always trying to get as well as I can. I was almost on a sub 12 into Ginso pace for a moment there as well.
Yep.
So it's always trying to improve my early game for sure.
Well, as a speedrunner, I don't know anything about perfectionism. I've never heard of that concept, to be quite honest.
Definitely not. None of us. Not one.
But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up and move on. But congrats again on your win. Good luck tomorrow. Sorry, 2 days from now, right? Versus Monkley. And thank you for joining.
Looks like that's going to be 9 p.m. on Sunday.
That's right, in Eastern Standard Time. I believe for Cheese is like 3 p.m. Monday or something like that, and for me it's like I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Sunday, be here or be square or be covered in cheese. One of those things. Cheese.
Oh, man, the last one sounds kind of delicious. But yeah, for now, we're gonna wrap up this race and we're gonna move on to the second one. We've got it coming up right after this. It is Chicken Supreme versus Rufus, and it will be starting in just a few minutes. We'll go to a quick break, get that transition going. Sonic, thank you for joining me here tonight. Obviously, a few technical issues making it a little difficult for you to provide commentary for us tonight.
Yeah, so sorry about that. But Thank you so much for having me again. All the same.
It was a pleasure. And I will be actually back for the next race, so I will see you guys in just a few moments with Rainbow Poogle. So stick around.